Yeah. Hola, good morning. Oh, we have to say the something
Buenos días.
as an introduction to our video. Stop that.
Go for it.
Right.
Yeah.
After we've done all the formalities, we got to do the formal formalities.
Yes. So we are in the manual for teachers. This is a section 8, right?
Indeed.
Question 8. How can perception of order of difficulties be avoided? It's important.
It's important.
Sí.
It's important
Okay.
not to take important. Ah,
The belief in order of difficulties is the basis for the world's perception. It rests on differences, on uneven background and shifting foreground, on unequal heights and diverse sizes, on varying degrees of darkness and light, and thousands of contrasts in which each thing seen competes with every other in order to be recognized. A larger object overshadows a smaller one. A brighter thing draws the attention from another with less intensity of appeal. And a more threatening idea, or one conceived of as more desirable by the world's standards, completely upsets the mental balance. What the body's eyes behold is only conflict. Look not to them for peace and understanding. Illusions are always illusions of differences. How could it be otherwise? By definition, an illusion is an attempt to make something real that is regarded as of major importance, but it is recognized as being untrue. The mind, therefore, seeks to make it true out of its intensity of desire to have it for itself. Illusions are travesties of creation, attempts to bring truth to lies. Finding truth unacceptable, the mind revolts against truth and gives itself an illusion of victory. Finding health a burden, it retreats into feverish dreams. And in these dreams, the mind is separate, different from other minds, with different interests of its own, and able to gratify its needs at the expense of others. Where do all these differences come from? Certainly, they seem to be in the world outside, yet it is surely the mind that judges what the eyes behold. It is the mind that interprets the eyes' messages and gives them meaning, and this meaning does not exist in the world outside at all. What is seen as reality is simply that what the mind prefers. Its hierarchy of values is projected outward, and it sends the body's eyes to find it. The body's eyes will never see except through differences. Yet it is not the messages they bring on which perception rests. Only the mind evaluates their messages, and so only the mind is responsible for seeing. It alone decides whether what is seen is real or illusory, desirable or undesirable, pleasurable or painful. It is the sorting out and categorizing activities of the mind that errors in perception enter. And it is here correction must be made. The mind classifies what the body's eyes bring to it according to its preconceived values, judging where each sense datum fits best. What basis could be faultier than this? Unrecognized by itself, it has asked to be given what will fit into these categories. And having done so, it concludes that the categories must be true. On this, the judgment of all differences rests, because it is on this that judgments of the world depend. Can this confused and senseless reasoning be depended on for anything? There can be no order of difficulty in healing merely because all sickness is illusion. It is harder to dispel the belief of the insane in a larger hallucination as opposed to a smaller one. Will he agree more quickly to the unreality of a louder voice he hears than to that of a softer one? Will he dismiss more easily a whispered demand to kill than a shout? And do the number of pitchforks the devils he sees carrying affect their credibility in his perception? His mind has categorized them as real, and so they are all real to him. When he realizes they are all illusions, they will disappear. And so it is with healing. The properties of illusions, which seem to make them different, are really irrelevant, for their properties are as illusory as they are. The body's eyes will continue to see differences, but the mind has let itself be healed, will no longer acknowledge them. There will be those who seem to be sicker than others, and the body's eyes will report their changed appearances as before. But the healed mind will put them all in one category. They are unreal. This is the gift of its teacher, the understanding that only two categories are meaningful in sorting out the messages the mind receives from what appears to be the outside world. And of these, but one is real. Just as reality is wholly real, apart from size and shape and time and place, for differences cannot exist within it, so too are illusions without distinctions. The one answer to sickness of any kind is healing. The one answer to all illusion is truth.
Seems clear.
See?
I like this section a lot. A lot of peace while you were reading it. I felt like, I could rest.
Yeah.
It is said that the healing is peace of mind. Health is peace of mind.
Health is peace. Yeah, that's what it's talking about there in health. When it says that, it says like we can't, health is rejected or is, no sé, so it can't be, we reject the health and that's why we start to make categories and differences and separation.
Yeah, that's a practical application of seeing everything as the same, which is a challenge for our own minds. But when we truly are excited about seeing everything as the same, because we were excited before to see differences, that's why we created them, just to entertain ourselves. But now they become too painful and we want out.
Exhausting.
Yeah, we want out.
Sí.
So the way out, it's going on the other direction instead of seeing multiplicity and seeing oneness. And obviously the body eyes will not do that. They cannot do that. But in our mind, we can see differently, which is called vision in the course. but it's a state of mind that recognizes illusions are illusions. So it doesn't matter how good or bad they seem. And then there's a kind of enjoyment and excitement in seeing how this can be done through me when I am still prisoner of judgments and preferences. And that's an exciting way of approaching seeing everything as the same.
See.
Yeah, and then at least for me, I start to understand more fully when the course says, make this year different by making it all the same. To the ego, that sounds very boring. It's like, and an impossibility too, right? But at least for me this year, that sentence has been brought up many times since the beginning of the year to me. It just came up now after you spoke.
I think what I hear in this is the seeing of the conditioning of of the mind, seeing how it has been told through existence what is real and what is not, and the purchasing of that as truth. And in seeing it, there is, as you point out, a chance to see the world as saying as everything is the same. We can begin to distinguish by experiences of pain and suffering or short moments of joy, seeing the origin of this of these beliefs and the pain that they cause. And with that, there's a choice. I can choose peace instead of this. And Dave and I have been talking a bit in the evenings, and one of the things I'm witnessing for myself these days is actually spending less time with the course, and just more time in a place of quiet. And it feels good. It's a yeah. I guess I just say it is. It's not even feeling good. It just is. So yeah. So that's what I get out of that section.
Bueno, ¿de qué hable?
Huh?
We seem to have a pattern here. Now it's David's turn.
Oh, it's my
Yeah,
turn.
there's no pressure.
Well, I'm feeling the pressure.
She always goes there, that you're being pressured, you're being pressured.
That's fine. Pressure's good.
Where's the trust?
It's
Where's the trust?
Carajo, it's a projection of my mind.
There we go.
She's trying to protect you because you're weak.
No. No.
I like that. Yeah. What I got from the same as you guys. I really like this section here, and it seems the first kind of 5 sections of it. It really just what's happening. What am I missing?
You're the worst cinematographer of all time. Never seen you
Now
like
you
this.
see this.
I've had to balance this on my knee today. So.
Hey Dave, isn't there a piece of log or something next to you? If there isn't, I'll bring one in, and you can set it up there.
I'll get it squared up for tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Glad you guys are enjoying this. All right.
Of course.
There you go.
It just it seems to explain to us how seeing with the body's eyes works. and it's taking something in, but everything's actually just in the mind. So there are judgments that form the world that we're seeing. But the crux seems to be in section 6 here, in that it's just that choice. And I liked what Adriana said about how we really can start to make us happy. There's some shift there once we start seeing it in that way. It seems like there's a lot of potential with that. And I do feel that way. It gives a lot of, I don't know what it is, joy, you could say, makes me happy to just to have that option there. Everything, I think there's a little practice that's needed, more practical application, but it certainly feels good in that we really can. It's a tweak. It's just a tweak in our thinking.
Mhm.
It's like saying we're really not a human being on this planet. We are this other thing. And that aspect that there are no differences at all in the things that we're taking in. I like it how it points out we could see somebody who might be gravely ill, for example, and we can see that with our eyes, but with our mind, we recognize it's the same. It was a great example of doing that.
Sí.
So, and then the only thing left to do is to just keep choosing in that direction. And that brings in that peace and joy and feels very good. So
Yeah.
I'm feeling that going through me right now. So I don't know what else to say.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we're happy with you.
yeah.
We're excited with you. Yes. This has to be joy. Yeah, it's a matter of logic. If the ego is miserable, leaving the ego has to be joyful. It cannot be painful.
Sí.
It cannot be done with regret. It has to be done with great joy and a lovely expectation of our reality, which is totally different from the shithole that we did for ourselves and for everybody that we see.
Sí.
So it should be a very joyous journey inward where everybody's welcome and all the expectations. You know, more and more, we would be happy about being wrong. And
Así.
that's a great shift because we always invested in being right and knowing the things and getting the things and, you know, carving an itch. And now we're trying to abandon that. And it has to be the opposite. When we were doing all these quests in the world
We
to
were
protect the
miserable.
body, we were really miserable all the time. We just kind of frustrated with some
Así.
other
We're frosting
issues.
over it, like to make it.
Uh-huh. And now that we're kind of experiencing that liberation of the mind, it will bring a happy and joyful experience because just as everything is an illusion, we can love everything, literally. Because we are the ones that establish what we love and what we hate. So while still here in time, knowing that we're not from here, okay, this is not my home,
Uh-huh.
but I can love everything as it is, and that's my excitement. How can this be done through me? Because I have to recognize that it is not me, the one who does it. I did
We allow it.
I did the error, but in the undoing, I am helped by myself, but not the self that I recognize as myself right now, but the one that I want to get in touch more and more and more and more. So when it gets to the time of leaving the body, it will be like, yeah, let's go. Kind of
Yeah.
that.
And then everything just starts to be really light, and it's like it starts to be joyful,
Joyful,
and then
yeah.
you laugh more, and it's just you start to see the ridiculousness and the I don't know. It's like unimportance of like the importance of the ego of everything. It just goes away, and then
And then we smile more frequently, and our forehead is serene, and our eyes are quiet.
everything becomes like a
We
celebration.
become the
right?
Mona Lisa.
The Mona- we won't need Botox. This is better than Botox. Es lo que estás diciendo.
No,
A
la
serene-
Mona Lisa. That's the description of the course of Heal Mind, and And it's also a description that Gary Renard describes in his books that he saw when he went to see the Mona Lisa. That he discussed with Arten and Persa about the Holy Spirit incarnate, which is like a quiet semblance, and
Things happen.
like everything is beautiful and perfect, and really quiet and peace, something like that.
Muy
So yeah, I'm happy to share this time with you guys, and I
bien.
hope I see your faces smiling more frequently, and that's beautiful.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good. Beautiful.
Enjoying all your things today.
Sí.
Same to you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good Saturday.
Thank you. You too.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye
Very
bye.
good.
Bye.
Bye, guys. See ya.